Tournament time, everybody! We are heading into the Icebreaker tournament, the tournament just before the start of the CCL, featuring some actual CCL teams. We can talk about what this is in just a second. Let's introduce our two teams first. We got Chili Mountain on the left side here on Battlefield of Eternity in our Best of 3 series, casting this again from replays. That's why there's currently no draft involved. We got Fury Imperius for the blue team, Chimera on Anduin. CPX is playing Medivh. We got Macke on Liming, and Darkmork is playing Gazlo. Over to the right side of the map, the Sidestep Kings with Cattle on Muradin. We got Filth on Reyna, Kyoja on Malthael, Ultralisk on Genji, and June is playing Ana. So again, the CCL is the upcoming league in North America, and the teams by now have been drafted. So this tournament is going to feature all of those teams that participate in there. We're currently in the round of 8, best of 3 series right now. And as usual, we have not only North American players over here, we got a couple of Koreans in, Kyoja, for example, and also Europeans. And these games are all played on the central server in North America, which means that everybody that is not from MA has a certain ping problems. So usually the ping ranges between 120 to 140 for the Europeans, and the Koreans at times are apparently jumping up to like 160, 170 even. So definitely forces them to change their playstyle a little bit, in case that you haven't really caught any of these games just yet, just as a bit of a side note for you. But as Battlefield of Eternity is our first map to kick all of this off, so let's have a bit of a look at it. We got the Exterminator on level 1 for Jimmy, Cattle on Muradin. And of course, those Storm Bolts can easily be followed by a Sleeping Dart on Ana. You can definitely lock a target down to especially allow Malthael and Jimmy to get some damage in. Whereas Genji then will find himself in a position where he can try and put the finishing moves onto one of the targets. Level 1 for Gazlo, the big game hunter. So this obviously is now more one of the standard talents for the hero. And Gazlo is pretty much meta at this point. I mean, again, pretty much we can kind of scratch that from that sentence, but yeah, he's meta now. He's usually a first pick or a first ban, very high up there. There's a couple of games and maps where he doesn't really get prioritized that much, but he is fairly common now in these games, which I honestly find is a little bit of a worrisome development. I think that Gazlo and all of these former specialists like Murky, Shogal and others aren't really heroes that you want to have in such a high priority position. It would be cool to have them in niche positions in games where you can actually just draft them on a certain map and really get good value, but I think that if they become like really highly embedded meta heroes, you have a bit of a problem there. Either way, for now it's still fine. Time will tell if Blizzard is going to put also some nerfs to the numbers of the hero to put him more so in the middle of the field. But at least for now, Gazlo is a big deal. Gives him the clamps. So when it comes to the talents, we got again this Sledgehammer variation that we've now seen also in the Korean tournament that we just had last weekend. So helps you to stack your baseline a little bit quicker, which allows for an earlier cooldown reduction in the pier, so that's kind of important. You give up the synergy with Healing Stagger on level 13, which isn't really that popular anymore. I mean, Muradin just made it recently back into the meta and is now more so played. Obviously highly dependent on how well he hits his Storm Bolts. But especially in this case now, if you're going for the Bronzebeard Rage on level 13 and then sometimes Stoneform on 16, if you want to play it super safe, then you'll see a whole lot of that Sledgehammer builds on level 4. And of course it helps on this particular map also with damage against the Immortal if it ever comes to this. Level 4 talents also give us the Rocket Socket right over here. And we got the Charged Blast for Li Ming. So no Dominance, no Triumvirate in this case. Teams have already taken their Shaman camps as we're now starting to make the move into the middle of the map for objective number 1. We're seeing CPX on Medivh, flying like a bird, fly like an eagle. And he's doing his thing here, trying to get his stacks together, of course. Malthael getting a little bit murdered, Kyoja in trouble, but June with the pew 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 on Ana the entire time from the backline, keeping the boys alive. Darkmork is now moving in again with the paper back. Gotta say, some of the new skins for Gazlo are actually kind of cool. But he can be pretty nasty right now. So, let's see what Gazlord can do here. Level 10 is going to be super interesting too, because especially on this map, I think if you have a really good Gravel Bomb into, for example, Immortal Stuns, you can just set up such a deadly combo that it could easily lead to a couple of kills. And we've seen this in the past, actually. So that's something that we could see here too. But we had a couple of occasions where we also see the clamps. And obviously a lot of it is map and playstyle dependent on what you're going for. Only hero that has used the medallion so far is Malthael, as you can see at the top. And just recently, Kyoja had to get out here. Now they're trying to go for the play again. June already moving out on the stun circle. Jimmy, of course, is by now at the bottom of the map, starting to get the damage in. And good luck racing Jimmy. Jimmy with Exterminator, we are singing the same old song. He is just fucking insane. That hero is so damn good when it comes to immortal damage thanks to Exterminator. It's actually crazy. Li Ming with the Calamity on level 7, as you would expect. Genji going straight into the augmented guard here, whereas we have the heavy impact for Meritin. And in this case, obviously all about the slows. Back in the days when that still stunned, when you could stun a target just pretty much permanently because he just hopped around the entire time and threw storm bolts left, right, and center. Right now he has 11 stacks towards the baseline. Ana with a grenade build, by the way, with the exception of the level 4 talent. And already a bit of pew 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 by God Filthy as they're trying to make the play for Fury. Jimmy needs to move to the left side if he can, but they're really all on the defense at this point. They're just defending for the life. Jimmy wants to come in and get a few more attacks in. Yeah, God Filth gets a couple more. They really need to zone him out, but it gets a little bit closer. But it seems like the red team is still going to win this one. Jimmy just too strong, especially on the first immortal, of course. Still trying to get at least those healing globes here too. The fight continues, level 7 on both sides, and nobody has really taken a big lead in experience yet. But now with the move down to the bottom of the map, there's of course the opportunity to push now in with the immortal. A bit of poke towards the left side as Ultralisk was trying to take Darkmok out here, or at least slow him down on the rotation. Malthael is now moving top to counteract him and get some experience. But at the bottom of the map, the question is simply how much can they do? The wall is the minimum. You're always hoping to take the fort down at least by a couple of notches, but the defense is quite solid here and well executed, so it seems like they get away with not losing a whole lot on that structure at the bot lane. Even the rotation from Malthael to the bottom hasn't really helped. He was on his way, but realized then quickly that he would be arriving too late. So at this point, we got 19 to 12 stacks already. 29 stacks, by the way, for CPX, so Medivh is slowly starting to get to a number where he can think about completing talent and then play maybe a little bit more aggressively. So let's have a bit of a look here. At this point, we have top side, still our 1 versus 1 setup. Level 10 is going to be interesting also for Malthael. I mean, traditionally you would expect last rights, but then again, you look at that Ana and nano-boosted Tormented Souls is pretty sexy, so that can be incredibly strong. If you move in and you still have the medallion cooldown, you can pop that during a fight, that's pretty sweet. Right here, on the other hand, a nice move by Fury over the wall, trying to get the stun connected. Couldn't catch anybody here, but the fight still continues. Malthael again on the move down to the bottom of the map. Chili Mountain seems to be hitting level 10 just a little bit quicker than their opponent. And Malthael is just like going up and down the entire time. It's a little bit of a yo-yo effect that he has here. He always wants to position himself in the middle of the map so that he can make a choice whether he wants to help the team out at the bot lane or whether he wants to move towards the top and just counterplay Gazlo again. And yeah, it puts him in a good spot where they are flexible. But right now, they need experience. So he's still at the top. Stormbolt quest is completed. Genji makes it out. Good move by Ultralisk here. The fountain is dropped, though. And now we got the Gravel Bomb on level 10. Gravel Bomb after Leyline could be a pretty sick setup. Not gonna lie here. That's scary as hell. We're also seeing Reyna's Raiders again. And last rights. As already theorized a little bit, we're getting the last rights over the Tormented Souls here. Genji hasn't made a choice yet. I wouldn't mind. He goes X-Strike, which I can totally understand, but it's always kind of cool when you have a Genji just pop off, nano boost or not, and just simply make a play with the Dragon Blade here. Level 10 on both sides, so now that the objective is up, the teams have their Shaman Cams moving in as well. Cattle with another Stormbolt connecting on the Immortal. Sledgehammer damage is helping. And now they are making their move for the fight in the middle. Here comes Gazlo. There comes the Gravel. They go for June, and goodbye. Yep, that's the setup right here. Nicely done. Good Gravel Bomb setup. They kill against June. They kill against Malthael. That's exactly what we talked about just a second ago. You move in and you try to make the play with your ult, just as we have the ley line locking everybody into place. Yeah, Gazlo comes in, goes for June, they get the quick kill against him, they follow it up with the second one against Malthael. That secures them pretty much a halftime show. which, by the way, they haven't grabbed yet. But they also did a lot of damage at the bottom fort, thanks to their Shaman camp still pushing in. So they are honestly looking at a pretty good spot right now. They have 2 kills against 0, but they haven't won this thing yet. And let's not forget that Jimmy is still on the other side. So if you get the auto attacks in from God Filth, then it's going to be problematic. Now they lose the halftime show after all, the Sidestep Kings. But, well, let's see if they can maybe still rush this one down. They're certainly going to try. And yeah, someone needs to try and control Jimmy a little bit. You can see how fast he actually starts to catch up. I mean, they're probably going to lose this one, but it is close. It is incredibly close. Hello, team? 1,000 hit points is all that they have on the shield. But, yep, that was definitely a bit too close for comfort. So, a clutch one after all. Now, towards the top, this is where the push is going to be set up. And Medivh is... oh, well, he's now done. I was just about to say he's one stack away from completing his baseline quest, but there he is, hitting Muradin with it. And now he can play this a bit more aggressively and doesn't have to worry for his own life that much anymore. Okay. Setting all of this up as we speak. 0 stacks, by the way, for Malthael. Hasn't hit a last rites just yet. So they're making the play up at the top now. Trying to go for it here. And can they get that forward? Doesn't really seem like it. Maybe they can lock someone down here. But they just don't seem to go for the ley line setup. I mean, Gazlo is still at the bottom of the map, so why would you? Here comes the extract, though. The attempted kill. Oh, careful. That was a little bit of a weird pull by Anduin there. The nano-boosted Muradin as Cattle is just jumping around and hitting Storm Bolts. But yeah, that Anduin pull was a little bit awkward because that was not really a big distance that he was pulled in. Okay. Top side is now taken. Yeah, Stormbolt connects with 2, and there's the kill. Li Ming is down. Cattle. Yeah, he's the one making the plays here. Anduin is also getting attacked. Cattle already moved out. There's the Bronzebeard Rage, as expected. Level 13 talents for both. Illusionist, coming beautifully with a Calamity playstyle. And on top of that, we now got the superior schematics. Right here. Rotation of Malthael down to the bottom of the map. Let's have actually a look at the damage output. Malthael on 25,000. 20k for Imperius. Who's of course main tanking it over here. And besides that, we got 23,000 for Jimmy. And a big pressure play from the Sidestep Kings top side now as they're looking to take another fountain down. And yep, this one is easily destroyed. Reyna's Raiders right there. Raiding the opponent's fort as we speak. Anna making the commitment on the 13 now as well. Smelling salts. I mean, Cattle has actually been also tweeting a bit after they drafted the team and has been saying like, okay, it feels awesome to be in a team with June again. I can run it down completely and watch June desperately trying to keep me alive here. And that's pretty much what's happening. Cattle just YOLOing hard here, obviously doing a lot of good work here, especially with the nano boost, the two interacting with each other. It's one of the coolest things, of course, that you have a lot of HTC players now in the setup. And yeah, that's pretty sweet actually. There's also nice synergies now with like Korean players playing in the teams, having a few Europeans in there too. There's a lot of that. But at this point, we have another race for the Immortal. Halftime show, well, it's not really a 50-50, but it's getting there. 15,000 against 12,000. We now have camps taken, already aggroed as all of this happened on the left side. But they gotta hurry up a little bit. They're gonna lose this one. Thankfully for them, it's on the left side, so it's a bit of a defensive spot, but let's not forget that there's more pressure on the map, because down here, that fort has already started to take a bit of additional damage. Thankfully, with those shaman camps, it should be pushed out. Genji is now ready as well, but still, you're 13 minutes in, so the Immortal's starting to hurt a little bit. Starting to mimic the play here as we speak. There comes the move down to the bottom, and Ultralis just simply zips out. And the mobility that Genji offers in this fight is obviously kind of neat, because you can try to pressure the lanes a bit and then still join the team quite quickly before the fight happens. And this is another one of these games that is really on the fence, because we have 2 kills against 1. It's not really a high kill count or anything. They're playing it really close to home here, and for good reason. This is the opening into the tournament, and this is all single elimination. You lose the series, you are out. So here comes the jump. There's this first Stormbolt, Sleep Dart, and Anduin with a save. Thanks to the trade. is able to pull them out here. Light Bomb gets used now too. X-Strike is already out. Leyline, where's the Lord when you need it? There comes Gazlo, but the combo is too late. Cattle is also low, and he is down. Muradin gets deleted, and he's not the only one. We have Macke jumping in and absolutely murdering them here together with CPX. So that's Malthael down, and they might be able to go for more. Jimmy, is he gonna get it? Close call, baby. He YOLO'd for the Immortal and nearly got it, but then he dies too, so now we have 5 kills to 1. It would have been a cool play if it worked out for him, but of course, unfortunately, he could not get that damage connected. Yeah, it's a little bit sad for him. It's good for the blue team, though. We got Chili Mountain now with 5 kills to 1, and a good push through the bot lane. 16. We got the Fanma Lasers on Gazlo, plus the usual mirror ball now as well. They're already about to take down the fort here, and it's party time, baby. Right now there's a chance to go for the keep, and topside is also pushing, so it might even give them another fort. Actually, Malthael is now moving up. He wants to catch the experience to bring the team to level 16, so that's not going to be the case. But now that we have the talent, we have our 5 versus 5 ready in just a few seconds once that Malthael rejoins the red team on the bot lane. Oh, Macke, be careful. Yeah, those sleep darts from Ana, definitely a problem. And they burn it down quickly. I mean, damn, son. Jimmy plus Muradin, oh yeah. They burned that down super fast. There comes the ley line, but Darkmork, well, he actually has his combo, but they're not going for it. There was already a nano boost in Malthael. Want to dodge out on that. Stormwall hits Imperius, not Gazlord, and well, now they're trying to go for the play. There's the stun. Jimmy, oh, he gets out. The problem is that Malthael doesn't. Kyoja gets totally abused in this fight and is dead. So with 6 kills to 1 in a 5-4 situation, they are starting to make their way now through the bottom of the map in the hopes of taking down a Fountain. Maybe a little bit more here. They go for Muradin again, and Cattle gets crushed. Good ult there also from Li Ming to pull the target even a little bit deeper. Got the reset, of course, for it as well. Genji jumps out. Ultralis can't really do a whole lot here without getting a bit too close. And here we go. Just jumping in, take the keep down, easy peasy, bam! Gonzo. Malthael in particular gets a bit crushed here, so Kyoja is definitely having some trouble. And I talked about this in the Korean tournament, but I want to highlight this again. If you play on the home server, it's just such a huge difference. So for Kyoja, it's definitely a bit tricky to play with the ping disadvantage that he has here. Now, the guy is still incredibly good, but of course, if the focus fire hits you that hard, and your opponent is trying to lock you down the way that they do right now, then things are getting real tricky here. Bottom of the map, that's where we have Li Ming now moving in. Oh, well, moving home after she takes the camp here. And yeah. A lot of the medallions have also been used by the Sidestep Kings during the last fight and are now on a 2-minute cooldown still. So, whereas Chili Mountain has all of their medallions ready, that's a bit of an issue. And with the next objective, I mean, honestly, even without the objective, this fort at the top, if they wanted to push for it, they could. But I guess they are so far ahead in experience that they don't want to risk anything before the real fight is about to start. So there we go. In comes the push. They're zoning them out already. Top side is taking a little bit of damage, but they get the camp up for it now. Yeah, they need to try and burn the Immortal down. That's honestly where Gazlo comes into play, and they don't really have the same Immortal race potential that we see from the Sidestep Kings. Chili Mountain looking for another Immortal, and honestly, if they get another one, this would likely, well, it could potentially end the game. So Sidestep Kings will do their best to prevent that from happening. Already a bit of a fight over here for Kyoja, and he is down again. Kyoja is down, Cattle is on the run, waiting for the cooldown so he can jump out, and he does. Problem is that Genji is also a bit low, and he is zipping away, but just. And up at the top, we already have the fort about to fall. But look at the experience gap. It's level 19.5 against 17.5, so if they hit 20 with this one, this would be such an insane push. Having Storm Talents while your opponent is barely holding on to 18 is kind of rough. Now Gazlo is gonna push out the top lane. It's not like, well, actually he's Medivh in this case. He's not gonna get the fort or anything, but I think they knew that. That Shaman is still active on the other hand, so you gotta be careful. Oh, beautiful! Medallion had to be used. Anduin is down. The Crybaby dies. And Gazlo is still alive. They're trying to get the kills in. Some counter kill with Macke's help. on Li Ming in a potential reset, but it doesn't quite work out. By the way, as a last rights update, we got 0. Nada, zip, nilch stacks for Malthael. Whereas Muradin is getting some solid stacks on his level 1. 41, baby! Cattle is doing a good job here. And well, it's not only that, they also win the Immortal. So the worst has been prevented, for now at least. They are the ones on the offensive now, so they can actually try and take that bottom fort down. Guys, this might be a comeback moment for them. They're looking pretty good here now. With the push and the Immortal. The problem for them, of course, is the same that I talked about earlier. They don't have 20. There's no Storm talent. So they can push as long as Anduin isn't here, but now that Anduin is back in about 3 seconds, you kind of want to back off this a little bit. Because if you get engaged upon, there's nothing you really can do. So that's the reason why they're falling back. Definitely the right call, in my opinion. Making sure that they don't get forced into a fight that they can't win, or that they would have an incredibly tough time to win. Medivh, of course, has all the vision on the world right now as he's just moving through the map and trying to keep up with them here. So CPX is sniffing this one out, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So up at the top, their camp is taken. The mission of the Sidestep Kings is, of course, now to get their own level 20, so that for the next objective they're ready and can fight. Whereas Chili Mountain would love to just push out the top lane, take that fort down, which should easily happen. And in the best case scenario, they would somehow bait the Sidestep Kings into a fight before the red team accomplishes their own level 20. But we all know that that's not going to happen. So instead, you just take what you get, you go topside, you take the fort down, that's another structure eliminated. All that you can hope for in this situation. And at the bottom of the map, well, that's where CPX is still having a look at everything over here. And the rubber ducky is already coming in with God Filth, but they're even pushing through the gate now. And of course, as long as Medivh is keeping them safe on the flank and they know that they're not going to get ganked up upon, everything's fine. They even get some damage onto this one. Yeah, they keep... Oh, okay, nicely done. They keep Maki alive, I was just about to say. Li Ming might be the one in a bit of trouble here. But she gets out, they're fine. Muradin has pushed the bot lane also a little bit further, so now it's time for the blue team to actually defend their keep. But both teams, I think, are pretty okay with where they're at right now. It's a similar situation in structures. There's a slight advantage for Chili Mountain since they took the bottom keep down. It's a significant advantage, let's be honest here. But it's 20 versus 20, both have still their camp up, and now of course it's time to go for probably the last objective in this game. We're 21 minutes into it already. Scaling and everything is looking very, very good now. 42,000 for Imperius, 40,000 damage for Jimmy. Imperius out DPSing Li Ming here. But again, 130,000 siege for Malthael. Poking topside, trying to do their thing. And, well, here we go. Here's the opportunity to go for another position with Jimmy on the Immortal and burn it down quickly. Nobody can move down to the bottom and attack it, so they're really looking for the team fight here. With their setup, that makes a whole lot of sense. Oh, Genji, careful! Deflect! Nice. Yep. Oh, catching Muradin! But they're also catching Ana. They catch Ana, the dwarf gets caught mid-hop, and that's the end of him too. That one turned quickly. That was a bit of a disaster. So they get the catch here on Ana, on Muradin. They take Ana down first. Muradin literally hops into them. He also gets blown up just a second later. And now we're moving straight through the bottom of the map towards the core as Chili Mountain is trying to finish this first game in a best-of-3 series. But instead, they get kind of wrecked. Yeah, at least initially. Double kill. Anduin and Medivh are down. Yes, Genji and Reyna are also falling. And they go for the full wipe, but that still hurt. 3 heroes are still alive. Malthael is back. Uses ult though, on the other hand. It's all about the catapults now, and one of them is already attacking the tower in the middle, so that's a bit of a problem. But if the towers come in, can they kill Malthael? Yes, they can. Li Ming dies too, but one catapult is on the core. Gazlo is on it as well, and it seems like they can finally end this after all. Ana is just not in a position where she can deal with this. The catapults are a little bit too strong, and well, this should be game. Chili Mountain with a 1-0. Triple catapult in the back, they do the damage, and that is a win on Battlefield of Eternity for Chili Mountain. Game number 2, Towers of Doom, everybody. We got Chili Mountain on the left side with the lead in the best of 3 series here in the round of 8, and the Sidestep Kings on the right. Alright, let's go. Fury on Garrosh for the blue team. We got Chimera on Brightwing, Darkmorg on Leoric, and CPX is playing Sylvanas with Greymane rocking Macke, or the other way around in this game. On the right side of the map, though, the Sidestep Kings with Cattle on Diablo, June on Lucio, got Filth on Cassia, Ultralisk on Li Ming, and Kyoja is playing Urel. Yeah, they gotta win 2 in a row if they want to turn this one around. Let's see if they can pull that off, or if it's gonna be a 2-0 victory here. Can they force the third map? Yes or no? Cassia already with the stacks right here. And, well, this setup, what's Leo gonna go for? Are we gonna get another Austin's Renewal over here? Or is he gonna move away from that? Actually, it was kind of interesting also. Honestly, after the last game, that's something that I kind of thought about a bit too. During the weekend, Techa, Mikey Udall, and I were talking quite a bit about the different priorities in the Asian meta on the Chinese and Korean side, and it was just so weird to not really see Medivh addressed at all throughout the entire tournament. And now in map number 1, Medivh already having a huge impact to the outcome of the game. You can really see that the Western meta differs quite a bit. So obviously that's not the only hero that will differ here in terms of how he's prioritized, but that was probably the biggest outlier when you compare all of it. But either way, let's have a little bit of a look of what we're seeing in terms of aggression here. So far nothing's happening. Leo has logged in his level 1-2. We got the Austin's Renewal. We got a couple of stacks from Cassia. She's looking for these brawls, hoping to stack that up quickly. And, I mean, gets 10 stacks together fairly easily. Nothing really too dramatic just yet. Of course, with Garrosh, you're looking for a bit of isolation right now. And yeah, Brightwing is coming in a bit more. This is gonna be, I feel, a bit of a theme of the North American meta influencing a lot of those picks. BBJ obviously has a little bit of a hard-on for Brightwing on his team, and for good reason. I mean, the guy is really, really solid on the hero. But I really wonder if Brightwing is gonna have, just like in general, an impact within the tournament, because I don't really think so. I can totally see a player or two being a bit of an outlier perspective. I mean, we got Ixie on the European server, who also has some really solid plays here, but I can totally see that as more of an isolated meta thing. But time will tell. A little bit like Marcus Mephisto, you know, something like that. Or Svampgarotta's Murky. But either way, ooh, look at that. We actually go from Overwhelming Affliction into the Mercenary Queen over here. Mercenary Queen, obviously on this map, can be quite powerful if you get the pumpkins. Huge bang that you get then for your buck whenever they connect with structures. There's the hit against Sylvanas. She gets immediately taken down. And, well, that's a kill. So now all the way up to the top. Kyoja is currently soloing that. Is moving through the lanes from middle to top. And 22 stacks are already in for Cassia. So pretty good stacking actually for God Filth. That's a pretty good start for him into the game here. Now also on level 1 we now got the body check here. Deviating away from that a little bit. Plus in addition to that also the Indomitable. And it's time for the altars. Interestingly enough, the blue team has now set up 2 heroes at the top and only 3 at the bottom for the defense, and Brightwing is one of them. I mean, if at all, you want to have Brightwing topside so that she can jump down, but apparently they're willing to sacrifice the one at the bottom. They're not going to get this one. Yeah, this is going to be a 2-1 altar trade in favor of the Sidestep Kings. You can interrupt this as long as you want, but you're not going to get it if you are the blue team. Unless you are massively better and you can somehow wipe the other team or get a few kills, and this is just not happening. There's too many fallback options for the red team. They can continuously interrupt, move into the middle, tap the fountain, move to the top, use also those guarded positions to get some range damage in and interrupt. So the blue team doesn't even try, and for good reason. Fury goes down here too. Definitely feels like the Sidestep Kings came into play here on map number 2. They got the 2 kills in quickly. They have a 2-for-1 altar trade, which is also kind of neat. On level 7, we now have them with a drain momentum here. And we got the Lost Souls in as well. Maybe the kill against Market. Can they get that too? Ooh, no. God Filth is not able to connect the shots. But they stole the camp, the pumpkins away. What more do you want? You steal the opponent's camp, you push them back a bit, 1 tower down, the side wall destroyed. way better opening now for the Sidestep Kings than what we've seen in game number 1. Best of 3 series could well go to a third map, but of course we're still very, very early in the game, so yeah. This hasn't settled yet by any means. Cattle this time on Diablo is looking for these wall stuns, but Darkmog reacts in time, and Wraith walks away from the situation. Cassia, of course, is just going full-on brawl at this point. I mean, if you're Cassia and you're stacking your Lightning Fury in level 1, you just want to end up in these brawls the entire time. And this is what happens if you go a little bit too far out. Barely surviving here. Had to use the medallion. Nearly went down to Sylvanas, but instead it might CPX, who goes down. Fury with a save, but Lulcio comes in deep and tries for the kill. Can't get it. Urel is hoping to flank, but even she can't reach the target. So everybody survives down at the bottom. No fatalities, but that was close. And again, this is what happens when Cassie just overstays a little bit in her quest for stacks. So she got polymorphed and then she got stunned out. Now we got the top left, top right channel of the 2 altars here on the sides. As a bit of a fight is happening in the middle of the map. Yeah, they're trying to go for the kill. CPX moving out. Oh, and he actually survives this. Lucio went in, tried to get the kill, he can't. Instead, Cassia falls. Fury is still alive. Saves? What? No fucking way. Fury, you fucking god. Spray paint game also on point. Look at this. Look at that defense. Cassia goes down as they go deep. And look at Fury. He's dead and he moves back in. Saves the target and they still can't kill him. All 4 of them pretty much down to the last leg. And they still are able to survive and Hearthstone back. Nicely done. Yeah, not every highlight does have to have kills. That was very good play from Fury in particular. I mean, the entire team really clutching it here. Getting the kill too. Now we got the Lightning Breath for Dibbles. We also have, I mean, pretty much standard ults here. Brightwing with the Blink Heal. That's exactly what we want to see if we get the hero here. And in addition to that, of course, Leo going for the Entomb. Yeah, we're not going to go full Glogan on this one. 1 kill to 2 at this point. And yeah, on the core it looks pretty similar as well. 28 to 32 points. So nothing too crazy. Bot lane gets attacked as well, as they are hoping to open the wall up and maybe reconvert the bell tower eventually. No, not yet. But there it is, the single altar. And well, this is when it's gonna start. Lucio simply rushes out. The Wailing Arrow, yeah, kind of connects, but doesn't really help them. Yeah, and immediately the spray game again as they're going for it. But this is an altar in 10 seconds, and a lot of the ults have already been used now by Chili Mountain. So that's a bit of a concern that they have probably now, and for good reason. Because Sidestep Kings are slightly ahead, and they should be able to secure this. Or at least they should have a good shot at it. I mean, they have 5 ults still ready. They're making the play for Fury right away. Garrosh moves out, tries to get out, but can't quite make it. Okay. So, Fury still sitting here at the side. They're going for the interrupt again. Kyoja with the channel. Leo could move in from the top. Is a little bit too late for that. They're going to get it, and they're also going to get Garrosh. Channel is completed, and they get the kill on top of it. Sidestep Kings, 32 points to 24. And we have them with 3 kills to 1. Nicely done. Nicely done. Okay. Now, with that said, we have also 39 stacks for Cassia. Not too bad for her either. So, 8 minutes into the game. Leo at the top, trying to catch the experience. Well, let's have a little bit of a look at the experience, actually. Right now, look at the minion experience. I mean, they're pretty much dead even at this point. There's a very, very small gap between the two, and that's mainly because of timings right now. So, both of the side laners have done an incredible job ensuring that they're not losing out on any experience here. Hero experience is really the main difference between the two teams right now. It accumulates to roughly half a level, but that's about to be that. So, yeah. Now, in the middle of the map, Urel still fighting it out with Leo. Those drains have to be on point for him. And with the level 13 talents now ready for at least the red team, they have a chance to, I don't know, maybe try and force a fight. There's not really a lot that they have to lock someone down. There's no Apocalypse on Diablo's side, so you can't go into a combo. So they won't be able to force anything here before Chili Mountain grabs their own 13, which is pretty much any second anyways. But Leo's already moving in. Fury is sitting tight and is saying, like, you know what? If I get the flip on you, then you are dead, my friend. So that's pretty much what they're going for. Here comes the hits. Okay, first of all, the Blood Craze is in. We got the Remorseless as well. And Leo has to rush mid lane. But again, doesn't lose any of the experience globes. The entire game has been a 4 versus 4. Leo and Urel rotate the lanes, and then it's a 4 versus 4 at the bottom of the map with the occasional visit from the mid lane. Which is actually symptomatic for what's happening right now, because Leo is saying, like, it is party time, baby! Where is that Entomb? You ordered a grave, my friend? Let's go. Urel is also jumping in. The Space Go doesn't want to be left alone here. So, yeah, of course, Cassia is still stacking, still trying to get a little bit more here. Hobbity hop. Urel coming in. They're trying to push Fury back. Yes, defend. Oh, and the N2 misses completely. Brightwing with a save, a little bit of a zone out attempt, and the channel gets secured by June as Cattle zones for the support player. Cattle just with a lightning breath right there, and honestly, that guy hasn't brushed his teeth in ages, so that shit stinks. Nobody wants to be close to that, so everybody backed off Diablo immediately. You think like he has some special skill or something like, his precious breath is just so foul that all he has to do is breathe out and hold a fire to it, and that thing is just toxic as fuck. So, yeah, everybody's running away from that. No gas masks in this game, at least not in this one. And Dibble's dying. Dibble's down, and well, that's all of a sudden the blue team coming in for blood, getting 1 kill, looking for the second, and they got filth too. And now Sylvanas is kicking in. Now Sylvanas is kicking in as well, starting to go through the wall here. 3 kills to 3. We got 15 on each side in just a moment, but that's exactly what they needed. I was just about to mention that Sidestep Kings could maybe even walk away with this one, but right now the opposite seems to be the case. The momentum is shifting quickly as we see Chili Mountain pushing in with also the Mercenary Queen for Sylvanas. They're nearly reconverting the bell tower down here with another bullet hitting home. Cattle already a bit low. He doesn't have any stacks on the baseline, so that's definitely a problem. Diablo turning into a weak kitten as we have Greymane jumping in. Make looking for the damage, finding it and taking with the rest of the team the bell tower down. 5 bell towers to 3 just as we see the triple altar. Just as the triple altar comes up, and it couldn't be more perfect for them. Still a leading experience for the Sidestep Kings. And honestly, they might not be well named here. Yeah, well, you need to sidestep a little bit more shit if they really want to earn that name right now. Well, they sidestepped an Entomb earlier, so I at least gotta give them kudos for that. Top left, that's where we got Leo now going for the channel. Liming wants to interrupt, actually. Coming in with a little bit of additional damage here, but the burn! Oh, June, baby, what a sound barrier! The man's on point here. Oh, but there's the kill against Diablo. Yep, and they're going for Garrosh. Fury is also coming out. Oh my god. Alright, alright, alright. That was a good moment by Junior with the sound barrier, but again, he couldn't really do too much. But at least he was happy that he could help. I'm a real boy. I'm not an oversized minion. Nah, he was actually helpful, so good move by Lucio. Actually, great sound barrier, kept Diablo alive for a little bit longer. If Diablo still had souls, he might even have lived here. But of course now Fury is just going to hunt them down one after another. They try to turn it once again onto CPX though. June coming in, Kyoja as well. And stacks for Cassia. 4 kills to 3. Chili Mountain has taken over in the kill department. 17 points on the core against 22, by the way. So we're starting to get a lot closer at this point, and probably a lot closer than the Sidestep Kings really wanted to. You can always come back on this map, but they were probably hoping that they could walk away with the momentum that they got. As is, the situation brings us to 4 bell towers on each side. Level 16 talents brought us now also the static electricity. We got the up the frequency, and with the full build into the Firestorm, the debilitating flames on level 16 now for him too. And there is again the Mercenary Queen. Need to get rid of those pumpkins. It's pretty scary, honestly. Boosted pumpkins are boosted, and they can do a shit ton of damage, and that's what they're looking for now. Dibbles gets flipped again, quick taunt afterwards, bullet hits hard, and Cattle is down. Diablo turns from the Lord of Terror into a terrified kitty, but then again, God Filth is popping off. What the fuck, dude? Comes in and says like, bro, no worry, I am going to shit on them, and that's exactly what they did. damn. Dibbles down, just look at this slaughter. Comes in with everything that he has. They get kill after kill. Now they take Garrosh down too. 5-man team wipe, baby. Completely obliterating the opponent's team. They kill Diablo. They think they're on a good path, and then just seconds later, their entire team is dead and is just sitting there thinking, what the hell just happened? So now we have the channel on both of the altars. Boss is up. They can either go for boss. They can try to make the play for the middle maybe. Boss might be a stretch, honestly, considering the death timers here. But with the 10 shots that they just accumulated, they dropped the blue team down to single digits. 7 points on the core right here. Oh my god. That was rough. Honestly, if you're the blue team, then you're just like looking at this after the beating that you just received at the bot lane. You're just thinking like, what just happened? What just happened? Didn't we just win a second ago? When we are on our way back? Like, what's going on here? 82 stacks right now for Cassia. Cassia is currently sitting at 52,000 damage. So it's not even top damage. Ultralisk on Li Ming is doing the work with the 53k that he brings to the table. But still, both of them with really solid numbers, especially compared to what we have on Chili Mountain side. Can they even escort a couple of the pumpkins over? They're certainly trying. Yeah, top side. Yeah, Leo, nicely done. Converts one of the bell towers over. The saving grace for them here. Problem is, of course, the level 20 talent for the sidestep kings. They're level ahead, and they're using it. We got now also the Seraphim in. We have... First of all, Rockstopper is also in play for Cassia. And they make them move into the mid lane, rotate towards the top, rotates towards the boss. And, well, no way to contest that. No way to contest this. This is going to be 3 points. And now, the thing is, they're trying to reconvert the bell tower at the bottom. The problem is, even if they do, what does that mean? That means it's 5 bell towers to 3. How many points do they have left? Boom, 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 boom. 3. 1 altar is all they need. If the sidestep kings get 1 altar, then they bring this to a 3rd game. Then we're gonna end up with game number 3 in this series. And, well, they are ready for the fight. Both teams have their level 20, though. Oh, no! The buried alive! Darkmok! No! Not like this! That's the play, my friend. You need to hit that one. You need to hit a good one. Oh, if they can get the kill! Fury! He's dead! Fury down. They're on the chase. Run, Wolf, run. Marker is about to fall. And, well, gets away. The problem is the rest of the team is just attempting to rush away from the fight, and they can't anymore. That's the end of Sylvanas. That's the end of Brightwing. And with that channel, this is obviously going to be game. There's only 1 hero still in play, and we have a double channel happening. Mark is trying to at least get 1 interrupt. Even that doesn't happen. And that's game, ladies and gentlemen. That is game. With 13 kills to 6, Sidestep Kings take down Chili Mountain and force game number 3. Game 3, here we are. Towers of Doom turned out to be a little bit of a graveyard for Chili Mountain towards the end. They got team wiped twice, and now the Sidestep Kings brought it to a game 3. So off we go. We got Fury this time on Volskaya Foundry on Uther, the main tank. Guys, it's back. They went full NA on this one. Main tank Uther is back to play with Chimera chipping in on the second support. Second support or first support, depending on how we want to look at it, on Ana. We got therefore a little bit of hyper carry, CPX on Junkrat, plus Mako and Vala, and Darkmog is playing Urel. On the right side of the map, the Sidestep Kings with Khaldor on Garrosh, Kyocha on Gazlo, Ultralisk on Li Ming. We got, again, Cassia. Look at this. June and Stukov, Godfills with Cassia. Pretty reminiscent of what they played, at least on the damage setup in the last map. But, yeah, if you have the... I was never a fan of this frontline Uther. Now, NA really liked that for a long time. They had it as a main tank for quite a bit, and then at some point they started to play it also a bit as a side laner. And that side laner style was for, I want to say like a week or two, adopted in Europe as well, and people tried it out, as Ana already dies. especially Pepe My Lady on the European side, really like to play side lane Uther on a lot of the maps. One of them was, for example, Battlefield of Eternity. But it never really worked the way that it did in North America, and teams pretty quickly abandoned it. Now, obviously, there's a couple of ideas behind all of this. You have the stun with Uther, which is kind of nice. You have that self-sustain. He's, in general, just a bit tanky, can dish out a bit of damage. If you have him as your main tank, then you have reliable stun, you have a second heal that comes in, so you can also help the backline a little bit. But he still has some gap closing issues, and he just in general doesn't oftentimes work that way. So you have a bit more trouble getting your kills in, you have to coordinate a bit better. But generally speaking, this is a very typical thing for North America. I mean, NA had the weirdest metas after HGC went down. We had the Uther main tank for quite some time. I think that was actually at the end of HGC even where they experimented with this. And we had a bit of a Cho'Gall meta as well, where Cho'Gall was first picked, first banned on North America too. So right now, they fall back to that at least, and we're going to see Chili Mountain with the attempt to rock this one. We'll find out if that works. They still play with 2 squishies in the back, so they have Junkrat and Valor to take care of. Trumparade as a level 4 talent on Li Ming. See that quite a bit. And off we go with the Rocket Socket again. We got the Indomitable in. This time the Warbreaker, as we see most of the time. And Fury gets already attacked right here. And of course, one of the issues that they also have, they got some displacement against Garrosh. Ooh, that connected well. Nice. That was a good snipe. Well done by Ultralist. So he murders Make in this one. And that's the second kill in the game. Sidestep Kings, they have found their rhythm, I want to say. Game number 1 was maybe a little bit shaky, but on the second map, after the early game, they did some good work, and now they're looking at a pretty good start into the game. They take the extra item, they're able to take the healing beacon, and on top of that, they're locking in some solid kills as well. So a slight lead in experience, which is actually kind of important. I mean, if you get the experience lead this early in the game, it usually means that you will have the earlier level 7 as you fight for the first objective, and that gives you a bit of a time frame where your opponent won't be able to fight with you and has to move towards the lane and try and get some extra experience. So they get the initial position on the checkpoint, which is good for them. Ana in this case, by the way, with the dart build, and yeah, has this time not resorted to grenades, which we've seen, I think it was game number 1 by June. And now, of course, level 7, any second for the red team. But keep those 2 items in mind. So they have the item advantage, thanks to Ultralisk holding the healing beacon. And Gazlo already coming in, Mr. Paperback himself, and there's a bit of a delivery system. Turrets in play, off we go. Calamity, stacks for Cassia. They try to go for Uther, and that's a kill. Nice. The main tank is down. Stukov, of course, helps a lot with this. Stukov, by the way, another really good example of shifts in meta or different metas between the Western and the Eastern teams. When we're looking towards the Asian teams in particular, what they really like to do is play aggressively around Stukov. Stukov was an incredibly high priority over there, and you can combo so much off with him. And of course, after 13, he really has his power spike. So seeing the Stukov here on the side of the Sidestep Kings is definitely a bit reminiscent of that style. But off we go. They're starting to jump in, and let's see what they can do with the first Protector. Already the mid lane attacked right away, and all the way up to the top. We currently have the attack coming in, with them taking the wall down, and well, that was that. It's all about the fountain though, so they're going to try and take this one down, and that is actually pretty decent. Wall down, fountain down, mid wall down. That's a pretty solid Protector, guys. I think they did a lot of work. Good for them. Yeah, really good for them. Okay, so down to the bottom of the map, there's still our 1 versus 1 that gets played out, with Urel going up against Gazlo. Kyoja is the one that I actually just caught that Kyoja is the one playing Gazlo now. So yeah, he's sitting on the side lane again. In the middle, yeah, Rocket Fist, Dartmoor gets pushed away. Every single time I see these Rocket Fists connect, it reminds me a bit of this trailer that we saw for who was it for? For D.Va back then, yeah, exactly. When Diablo comes in and just pushes Genji into a wall, just like with his entire fist, his claws around his face. This is pretty much what I think about whenever I see one of those Rocket Fists connecting. The exact same move, like a massive hand just like closing around the face and just pushing them back there. So that was pretty cool. But, well, as this goes, we have now also another... yeah, the 10s coming in. In this case, the massive shove. We got the ball of lightning in, and yeah, Robo-Goblin. Let's go, baby! A little bit more of an auto attack style here. I'm looking at the setup that they're playing. Honestly, I could have seen a really... if you get a good Gravel Bomb off and you have a Stukov behind it, that would have been pretty neat too. Personally, I love to see Robo-Goblin. I think it's kind of cool. You can obviously destroy structures as well and really get some extra damage in against protectors too. So I'm kind of happy about it. But you could have definitely played around the Gravel Bomb too, which a lot of people argue is just like, generally speaking, the better one as a rule of thumb. Yeah, here comes the extra stun from Uther. That's one of the things that he brings to the table in these Uther main tank compositions. Doesn't have to go for the Divine Shield. Hobbity hop, Strafe is out too. Some extra damage here. They're trying to go for the Lord, but Gaslow moves out. A lot of R buttons hit over here. Nobody got a kill in. Still 3 kills against 0 as we're slowly waiting for objective number 2. And the second objective normally spawns around, well, level 13. That's roughly it. But, well... let's see. Right now we got our objective, well, the mini objective, the support camp. It's up again. So let's see. Right now with Gaslow at the bottom of the map. Don't you think it's a little... I don't know what you guys think, but I mean, you're used to it, you know, from other game modes. But don't you think that if you're looking at a competitive game and you look at the minimap and you have this super stupid troll face of Gaslow just looking back at you from a lane, that it just feels like you landed in an alternate dimension? Every single time that that happens, it's just like, what just happened here? Is that really a Gaslow on the map? I've been casting for a few weeks now with Gaslow as part of the meta, and I still have to get used to it that when I look at the minimap, there's all of a sudden a Gaslow like looking back to me. It's the full-on troll phase. I mean, if they could put that in black and white, it would be Troll Kappa, but unfortunately we don't quite get that, but yeah, it's pretty much it. I mean, either way, sorry for the tangent, but control point coming up now. Objective number 2. As is, there is a gap in experience, and as usual on this map, if you take the first protector and you don't bullshit around with it, you will get a lead in experience that translates, if there's no additional fights, into level 13. So your opponent will have to get the experience before they can actually go and start to contest you on the checkpoint. And that's what we're going to see now. Level 13 talents are going to be ready any second, but Filth is helping out down here at the bottom. Urel actually moving in. Might be a bit too late to have an impact, and yes, indeed, that's the case. But now that we have 13, Cattle is just sitting on the sides here. He can always move out if need be. And, well, there we go. That's the move right there. We've got Filth coming in from the bottom, has the extra items, 2 turrets in their hands now. They got the healing beacon. Gaslow has an additional turret. They have such a huge item control, which is pretty crazy. Oh, what the fuck? Glass cannon? Calamity with glass cannon? Ultralisk with the balls of steel. To my knowledge, he complained just recently that he doesn't want to play heroes like Maiev on the North American server with the ping that he has to play there. And now he's playing glass cannon here. Holy shit. I mean, that kid has some balls, honestly. Against Uther, the stuns, the heals that they have here. Let's see if that works out for him, but that is definitely going to be a tricky one. Glass Cannon is tough. Now, to be fair, there's nobody that is agile enough to hunt him. There's no Genji on the other side. There's no hero that is great at gap closing or locking him down. So as long as he pays some attention to the minds of Junkrat, he might be able to get away with it. And of course Urel too. But that's quite the statement that he just made there. I don't think that was a misclick. Sometimes you look at a few talents and heroic choices and you're like, well, that makes 0 sense whatsoever. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say that's a misclick. I don't think that was a misclick. So yeah, that's an interesting touch. Either way, now that we have the next protector up, they rotate bot lane immediately. Prepare the next objective, prepare the next lane. Try to come in, take the wall down, claim that fountain. You want to get rid of that fountain as quickly as you can. If you can kill a couple of heroes in the process, then that is the cherry on top of the cake. But you want to go for the fountain here. Fury, the shove is missing. Fury is currently looking to see if he can lock anybody down. And in the meantime, Kyoja is saying like, boys, I got this. I honestly wonder if after the first 2 games, Kyoja said, guys, I'm having some trouble with ping here. And I'm going to instead just play side lane the entire time now. He has a bit of trouble against Darkmok, and he's actually going to die. Oh, what the 10 hit points! What? No way! No way! Fucking Kyoja! Oh my god! You can't be serious! Full on god mode! Urel was sitting here and simply said like, yeah, I got him. Turned around and then realized that he still had like 10 hit points left. Unbelievable. What an escape. Insane. Oh, the Gas Lord doesn't care, ladies. Wow. Just wow. But as I was about to say, I really feel a little bit like Kyoja said, guys, I have ping problems. And we could see that with, I think, his Malthael play on Battlefield of Eternity. So right now, he's spending a lot more time on that off lane than we previously saw. And he did a lot of work at the top as he was trying to take the fort down. And of course, at the bottom, they still got the fountain, which was pretty big. So, yep, there's that. But it's interesting. We currently have, at the bottom of the map, got Filth doing his thing, trying to play around here. We got 3 kills to 0 with a 16 talent now on board. Obviously, it's going to make those mirror ball missiles, the magic missiles, so much more impactful if you can connect them fully. Also, as you can see, there's the Manticore and the Benediction. So at least these auto attacks could become a problem. And Gazlo is at it again. Kyoja at the top, yeah, going full on Robo-Goblin on them. And he's going to take this thing down. Again, as long as there are still a couple of minions around, he's taking full advantage of it and of the aggro mechanics of the fort and takes it. So 1 fort down up at the top, easily done. And that is just kind of neat. That's actually pretty good. Still playing it out with Urella, my dad. And Urella just saying like, hey, it didn't work last time, this time I might be able to kill you. But the answer to this one is also big, fat. Nope. So down to the bottom of the map. Here comes the next push, trying to go for the fort again. They're applying a ton of pressure now. Gotta give some credit here to the red team. Has Ultralist disconnected again? I'm waiting for the Ultralist disconnect, as we so usually see. But now that they're moving up to the top, it seems like they're actually trying to go again for the healing beacon. Do they even have slots? I guess Kyoja had to drop his turret earlier, so they have the slots for it. There was nobody that rotated in quickly enough to attack it. So yeah, here we go. That was kind of nice. I mean, they were now in a position where they could, first of all, take another item. They have a double healing beacon. They have three turrets. And the blue team actually mirrors that. They have a lot. They might not have the same number of healing beacons here, but they got a lot of items as well. So this is actually a nearly fully stacked setup in this 5 versus 5. But the rotation towards the bottom is again a little bit faster. And they are starting to come in immediately with a bit of a move towards the beacon at the bottom. So yeah, there we go. In comes the move towards the next. I don't think they have the items. Ah, June doesn't have one. Ah, okay, item slots I meant. I was like, who still has like a slot left? And it's June. Okay, June does. Okay, Mark is now coming in. Here we go, bottom of the map. Cattle holding on to it. 3 kills to 0. The entire series, by the way. Well, maybe not the entire series, but big parts of the series. Mainly game 1, game 3. Not really a huge amount of kills. It's not like these are kill-heavy games or anything. So, yeah, a little bit more on the light side. In we go. They seem to be giving up a lot. I'm not quite sure what they're waiting for. They can't get the kill against Kyoja at the top. They have level 18. 19 is there. They seem to be quite reluctant to engage into a fight before level 20. I think they're a little bit afraid that if they just try to drag it out and they don't make an approach now, that the sidestep kings will slow the entire play around the objective down until they have level 20. And I think at this point that is definitely a realistic fear. Previously you might have been able to get away with it if you immediately engage onto it. But as it stands, they're going to give this one up. Yeah, as it stands, they're just going to say, okay, take it. We don't care. And that is, again, a pretty good indicator of what we've been talking about the entire time. That objective number 3, especially when it hits... I mean, look how early this is in the game. This is not going to end the game. This might not even get them keep. 4th objective oftentimes ends the game. 3rd objective, most of the time, gets you a keep. In this case, even that might not happen. So, they have the 20. It's a 4 versus 4 down here. Depends a little bit on the defense. But look how quickly that Punisher, that Protector, gets burned down. Even with the advantages that they have. The level 20, and the Protector, they might not get the keep here. They're definitely not going to get the core. Unless they somehow 5-man wipe them or something, this is just not happening. And that Protector is now down to 30%. They get some damage in, good for them. But yeah, it's too early. It's way too early in the game. We have 15 minutes in and there's just nothing that they can realistically do with this. Mid lane, Gaslo still pushing. If I'm Darkmorg, I'm just pissed. If you're Darkmorg, this is not the game that you want to play. Bottom of the map, Cattle gets booped away here. And got Filthless trying to stack. He had a really nice stack amount in the last game. This is not quite his game though. Not as many fights as he hoped for. Only 39 stacks for him. And now with level 20, here comes the Farfly Quiver. And with Manticore as a combo, we all know how crazily good that can be. So, yep, there's that. We now got Redemption over here to the top. And in comes the move topside as they're making another play. I don't think they can engage into this. Uther, the main tank! And he's dead. He got the stun off, but he's dead. He is going to come back, though. Careful, he got Redemption. And, well, they're making it onto the point. Big shove, baby. Oh, yeah. Big shove from June, the Admiral, with a play. And in comes Urel as they're retreating. Dropping even another turret here. That's a lot of items that were dropped in that fight. Holy shit. Double healing beacon still in their hands, though. 4 kills to 0. And all the lanes are pressuring the blue team right now. But now that we are on Storm Talons on both sides, this is one of those games that can just, like, flip on a dime. All that you need is a good team fight. Take a good fight and a good moment in time, and you are gonna be in a great position to make some plays here. Go down here for the next objective, or mini objective. Try to get another item here. And, well, it's time to wait for the 4th checkpoint to be announced, and then make the play through the middle. But, yeah. Now that they... I mean, honestly, with the position that they already have, Gaslo can start to set that up with turrets. And he's just annoying as hell at this point. We also have him with the It's Raining Scrap right here on the 20. We got the Titan Might, Titanic Might. But they can maybe set up a little bit faster on the point now. And put this into play. Of course, Junkrat is doing more or less the same thing here. But yeah, it's all around the poke. And there's pretty much no item left for Chili Mountain. So this is a huge item advantage now for Sidestep Kings. I talked earlier about the 3rd objective and how both teams were more or less maxed out on items. At this point, Chili Mountain doesn't have a single one. They got nothing. And there's 4 items on the opponent's side. They got 2 turrets and they got 2 healing beacons. The only one that doesn't hold anything is Kyoja. So now that the control point is announced, once that he comes to control point fight, they can pretty much drop everything here. And let's not forget that Chili Mountain hasn't taken a single fort down. They haven't taken a single one. The double flip. Oh, the stun against 4 people. But Ultralisk, Glass Cannon, baby, comes in, gets the kill, gets the reset. Goodbye, Junkrat. 2 down. And that is a guaranteed protector right here. And they even held a couple of the items back. And of course, they've already done damage at the bottom keep. They can now move in, try to poke this down even further. They have a 4 versus 3 with this attack as Stukov is still sitting on the spot. Trying to get the kill. Urel popping the ult. And they can now slowly start to whittle those hit points down even further. Once the keep is gone, all you need is the protector and go for core. This is looking fantastic for the Sidestep Kings. They fell behind after the first map, came back with a victory on Towers of Doom, and now on this map they have 6 kills to 0. They are about to get another objective, and they might just be able to end the game here and take the series after all and move forward to the next round of the tournament. So, at this point, starting to come in. Currently at the bottom of the map. Oh, medallion by Marke. Yeah, well, I think he dodged out on it after all. And there was also another quick shot against Cattle. But, yep, in we go. There's the Gas Lord already in the Protector, and it's time to shine. They're making their plays. Kyoja is coming out. They're switching in, switching out. Garrosh is in. Riptire as they're coming in with this. And off we go. Currently, we have Marke getting attacked, and, well, that's the end of Uther if he doesn't pay attention here. Yeah, Uther could actually die here. He gets burnt down quickly. By the way, talking about burning things down quickly, that Protector has lost a lot of hit points too, but we're 20 minutes in now, and those shields in the core are nearly gone as they're starting to make the final move. Another big stun from Uther. They're trying to come in with the Reptile and with Urel, but the shields are down, the core is falling. The Protector is dead though, and they're trying to go for the kill. CPX nearly dying. Everybody on the blue team is already low, but they are giving as much as they take. Uther down, Cassia dead, 30%, can they save it? The Rocket Fists are hammering them back, 18%, this is not looking good, 15, they right click in, Gaslow down, the flip of June to the other side, and that is the end, the Sidestep Kings with the victory, ladies and gentlemen, a 2-1 win in the best of 3 series.